Okay, we're gonna call the meeting to order. Can I get everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we get a roll call, please, Russ?
Yes. Brandon Earl.
Here.
Andrea Kreifels.
Here.
Jason Newberry.
Here.
Jessica Seelager.
Here.
Robert White.
Here.
Jim Yates.
Here.
Pat Seeger.
We need an announcement of the agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Okay, a motion, can I get a second?
Second.
A second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Recognition of patrons and staff. Okay, first discussion item, education spotlight.
Yes, so we are excited tonight to introduce our instructional strategist team. The board is kind of several years in the making, and the board was very supportive in putting these ladies together. As the district is really honed in on pushing quality instruction across the district. And so I'm gonna let these ladies introduce themselves and kind of what you're planning on doing. And then Mr. Sheets obviously has been working really hard with these ladies as well, so it's been great. Susan?
My name is Susan Topping, and I'm actually a graduate of Wellington High School, so it's really nice to be back. Both my parents taught in Wellington for a very long time. I am a speech language pathologist. I am also a dyslexia specialist certified, and I've been a low incidence special education teacher. And in addition to this, I'm the co-lead instructor for advanced training at Payne Education Center in Oklahoma City for training teachers in school districts in dyslexia. So I'm thrilled to be here. You guys, this has been the most welcoming, incredible environment already. We've been on the job for almost 3 weeks now, and it's been really amazing to see all the incredible things happening here in Wellington. And I'm very honored to be here, and I appreciate that you guys allow these positions to be created.
Alright, I'm Luann McGurk. I'm from Mississippi, but my husband's from Wellington, and so we moved back a couple years ago, and I've been at the high school the past 2 years in the math department, and this year I'm gonna move into the instructional strategist role at Kennedy. I'll be housed at Kennedy, but I'll also be doing some district things and working with these ladies and Chad as needed, and I'm super excited to be here and just be able to have a new opportunity to grow and help the district grow. So thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm Amanda Yeager, and I'm the instructional strategist here. And I want to echo what she said about Wellington. You know, I left a job where I'd been for 25 years, the place I grew up, and I believe enough in what you guys are working towards that I was ready to make a change. And so that's exciting to me. I have been a first grade teacher, a second grade teacher, a title interventionist, a special ed teacher, a high school teacher, a college teacher, and I taught the prison. So there you go. I'll bring a little bit of everything.
Well, we're excited you guys are here, so. and
Yes.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Super excited about the work you're gonna do. Thank you for doing this.
Okay, next up, budget documents.
Yes, so we have Randy Ford, I believe he's connected. That is, will be advising the board and advising the district as we head towards approving our budget for the 25-26 year. And has already put some information in front of you. He and Darcy will be working on a more detailed budget for the September board meeting and budget hearing. And so wanted to have Randy available for the board to have any questions on the budget documents that he's provided so far, and Darcy as well.
What's R&R?
Revenue neutral rate.
What is it?
Revenue neutral rate.
Anyone have any questions for him?
Randy, I don't know if you have anything you want to say, but
Yeah, I'll just do a super quick summary. So the form you have in front of you is General Code 99 as well as a revenue neutral rate certificate. So it's really just a summary of the budget. It's what will eventually be published in the newspaper. Really no significant changes from last year. Mill rate's up a little bit, so you're over the revenue neutral rate. One thing that you might notice is in at-risk, we're budgeting quite a few more expenditures. The at-risk funding has changed over the last couple of years as far as the way you're required to fund it with both general fund and supplemental general fund expenditures or transfers. And the expenditures that go in there have become much more closely watched. So Darcy has been spending a lot of time gathering the information needed so that so that money can be used, because if you don't basically spend it each year, you're just gonna continue to accumulate it. So she's kind of got a plan in place so that that money can be spent. So as a result, if you look at the budget compared to the last couple of years, it's significantly higher, and that's spending carryover funds. So there's still the normal transfers in there, but you've carried over quite a bit of money the last couple of years. Part of it's just been the districts have all struggled with this because there are certain guidelines you have to follow, but they've been vague, and they've added some aids now, some calculators and things like that you can use to document the use of that money. So that's kind of the one thing that sort of sticks out. Everything else, we do always budget to fully expend capital outlay, even though we know you won't. That's just more of a contingency type thing. Other than that, there really isn't anything that really sticks out. Food service, we always bump that up a little bit to avoid any budget republication. So we always bump up revenue more than it's going to be. That also covered in case there's increase in cost of food. So that's kind of the super quick overview of the budget. And if there's any questions, I'll be glad to try to address those.
I have a question. In virtual education, the last 2 years there was 0, and now there's 16,800. That's not a lot, but I'm just curious. 0 to
So
16,000.
the prior two where you didn't have expenditures, we always budget for you to have that, but you may not. So you just never know for sure. We have to plan ahead in case there is money that needs to be spent. So the first two columns are actual current year as a budget. So if you get a little bit of funding, you're really supposed to use that money in that fund.
So budget isn't guaranteed. I mean, we're not always gonna spend it. It's just gonna be.
That's true. In fact,
Yeah.
the
This is
budget is
2-0.
generally a little higher than what you will spend, even in general and supplemental general. We have to make estimates based on the prior year. Each year, or it has been, the base aid goes up, so as a result, if your enrollment happens to be exactly the same, which it's never going to be, your expenditures are going to go up. So we do always add a little bit of margin in there, as far as enrollment numbers, just in case, because you're always going to get, if your enrollment goes down for a year, you'll get the prior year. So we always plan on a little bit more, so that way you're covered, whether you have a decrease, same, or if you have a small increase, you're covered as far as your budget.
And Randy, correct me if I'm wrong, but basically this is just setting our budget authority, correct? So it's putting the cap on what we can spend, not necessarily
That's
saying we're
exactly
spending.
right. And some of that then, particularly your general and supplemental general at the end of the year, so come next June, it'll be capped by the state based on final enrollment numbers. So yes, you're exactly right. This is the most that you can spend. Like I said, capital outlay, you're not going to spend $4.3 million, or if you do that, man, you got a catastrophe. But it just gives you the authority to cover for any unknowns that could happen. Now, the goal is that for that at risk, and Darcy can jump in if I'm going a little bit over, you're wanting to get as close to that as possible because you just accumulate money in there that could be used. If you got money that's in there, once it's in there, it's got to be used for that. And the more you get in there, it's just harder to actually spend it down.
Well, and we also had ESSER funds that a lot of your at-risk funds that we would have used we were using ESSER funds first.
So is that why the zeros were there in the that's the only thing that just, 2 zeros 2 years before, and then 6, almost.
Yeah,
Well,
I
we-
had the
we-
same question.
We budgeted, we probably budgeted that same thing last year, we just didn't use
Right.
it.
We didn't have the expenditures for virtual.
So these are actual, the
So-
first two columns are actual, and then this is a budget, that last column, so we're budgeting, but we don't have to use it.
Yeah, just because
So
it's
there
on there
were
doesn't
not
mean
where
we
the
have to spend
zeros
it.
are now. I'm sorry, but I just,
Yeah.
it's kind of new here, not new, but there were numbers last year?
We budgeted for them, but we just never didn't use them.
Randy, compared to the budget for the last 2 years, did our actuals actually come in beneath budget that you kind of indicated in general?
I'm not sure, I couldn't quite hear everything you said.
You want to repeat me maybe if you're closer? Oh, I
He
can
just
yell.
wants to make sure that from our budgeted the last few years, have they always been under budget?
Thank you.
Like, so, general and supplemental, you're right on budget, you're required. Everything else, yes, you since I've been working with you, you've never had any budget violations, so you've never gone over budget. The general and supplemental general will be right on budget, like exactly.
I believe we had to republish, was that 2 years ago?
A couple of years ago when they did the thing with,
When
at-risk
they,
funds.
yeah, they changed the at-risk, and so we had to, republish the budget to extend our authority on at-risk funds.
In the general, well, and in the general fund.
Or general funds, sorry, yeah.
Thank you.
I think that answers the
Okay,
questions.
this is just another question. Why is there not anything under textbooks and student material?
Those funds aren't budgeted. Those are reserve funds that you can put money in, but you don't have to budget those. So you're allowed to spend the money, but it doesn't require a budget. Now, you may not have, let me look here real quick.
It's
You
just,
may not
again,
have
it's just
used those.
because there were numbers before and this year there's not.
Yeah, so you're right, you're
The
using
before
it,
numbers are
but you don't
the
have
actual,
to
we
budget
actually
it.
spent.
So the only thing so nothing shows up until you spend it. So next year, if you spend some money out of that fund, it'll be on there. But you don't, those funds aren't subject to the budget law.
Okay, thank you.
And Chad does plan on spending lots of money out of there because we
Well, that's what I
have
thought.
textbooks.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah, we're getting ready to renew our textbook curriculums.
Yeah, so as the curriculum fell off, it's that curriculum adoption schedule that I showed you guys, I think, for the first time back in February. We've updated it a couple of times. So I've been working with Darcy on planned expenses for that. And she knows that I'm gonna come and beg for money, so she's ready.
So we are not remaining revenue neutral. Where, because now that I fully understand, like Pat was saying, I wasn't thinking actual versus budget. Where is it that we're going over revenue neutral?
Supplemental,
So that's on the,
I mean, it's in almost,
interest.
it's on almost all of them, right?
The printout you have, there's a smaller schedule.
Maybe that's my problem. I was
So if
looking
you look
at
at the very last line of that, where it says taxes levied
Yeah.
excluding general fund, there's a, slide to 1, 2, the fourth column says 29.585, then there's like two
Yeah,
million
I see it now.
865. This says 33.081, that's where it shows that you're exceeding the revenue neutral rate. So it's part of that certificate.
So Randy, what are we exceeding by? Around 7 or 8?
Mhm.
Let's see, I'll just tell you exactly.
I know I'm looking at mine, I just don't.
By 3.496 in total.
How much?
3.496. 33.081 minus 29.585.
Okay, anyone else have any questions?
No, looking for action tonight on this.
No.
We'll have it for
What'd you
next
say,
year.
Jason?
Yeah.
This-
What is our timeline?
September, the next board meeting, we will have our budget in.
I'm sure
And
we'll
our-
have questions between now and then.
So here real quick, you're gonna wanna get this published. And then from there, there's a schedule you have to follow with your revenue neutral rate hearing and budget hearing being on, is it September 8th, I believe? Yeah, September 8th.
Yeah,
On
no,
the- on
we
the
have to make a
publishing,
motion
yeah.
on that, we gotta publish it.
Yeah, we gotta publish it, yeah, you're correct.
So is there any, I mean, is there any reason why we have to go over R&R, or is there any opportunity to decrease that so that we do stay within R&R?
Probably didn't hear you because I barely did.
So it looks like by exceeding the R&R, we generate what, $300,000 roughly?
That's why I asked where it was, because
You're exactly right, just a little over 300,000, yep. Between several funds, that's between supplemental general, capital outlay, and bond and interest.
And I think I know the answer to this question, but that does not take into account the potential bond issue we have on the horizon.
That is correct.
So under capital outlay, the 1,299,000, that's what we actually spent out of capital outlay. So this year, we're hoping, we can spend up to the 4 million because that's what we budgeted, correct?
We
Or set a
always
cap
budget
on
the
it.
full amount of cap outlay. So in case if something bad happens, we have the authority to use those funds.
I know I've always asked this, and you guys, most people here tell me no, but we don't use a contingency fund, correct?
We have not been using contingency fund, no.
Because,
It takes board action to use a contingency fund.
right, so why don't we have a contingency fund as well as capital outlay?
We do.
We do.
We have
You
not.
just said we don't have one.
We haven't used it.
We don't
You
use
said
it.
we-
Where is it?
Well,
Well, I never see it.
It's
Right
1.5
down, third one from the bottom, right above debt
Okay,
service.
and when I've asked before, that's what,
But we haven't spent out of it, that's why it's showing zeros.
third one from the bottom. Yes, historical museum.
It's on that
No,
same page that you're
right
on.
above debt services, Pat. Says contingency reserve.
Oh, you see it?
Right there.
Okay. I thought contingency funds,
Zero, we haven't spent any, but it doesn't tell you. Are
Yeah,
there any funds in that?
Yeah, we should have-
Budgeted.
Why
In
isn't-
fact, it cannot be budgeted.
okay,
Contingency can only be used for things you didn't anticipate when you prepared your
Right.
budget,
so
so
it doesn't have
as
to
a
be,
result, it cannot be budgeted.
it doesn't have to be listed on your, it doesn't have to be budgeted, but it doesn't have to be listed either.
I need
It's
enough
listed,
funds
it
set
just only
aside
shows
for that now.
No,
expenditures, you haven't used
There's
it.
$1.5 million in the contingency fund.
Okay.
And it's been like that for
Million and a
years.
half, okay.
Yeah,
It just sits like that, it's for emergencies, period. We don't spend out of it, we don't add to it. Where we haven't added to it for a long time, it's just been in that spot, so.
And we
that
have to have
number-
it, like,
Yeah, that number, well, it's always been recommended by the state for us to have at least one payroll in there in case something were to happen. And so that represents essentially paying everybody one time for a month if we needed to, for whatever reason. And then
For
obviously,
example, I mean, the money being withheld this year, I mean, that's,
For the
I think a
federal
lot of
funds.
places were
Some-
using
some
that
were
as an
ta-
example,
Talking about
that's
using
what's in there.
contingency funds when they put a hold on federal funds, yes.
so that's always, and if you put too much in your contingency fund, and then the state will gripe at you. So we have just amount to do one payroll if needed, and it just sits there. So that's been that way for a long time.
did we use it at all for the high school roof?
Now,
Do you know when the last time we used it was? Could you find out for me, please?
Okay.
Not tonight, but just let me know.
On the capital outlay fund, you said that you budget the max on that, so is there actual calculation that you do to create that number, or is that just a number that you arrived at with some reasonable, estimate of what you may spend?
I think it's, Randy, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's
Yeah.
your ending balance plus incoming funds estimated from taxes.
Correct, yeah, the balance you ended with plus so when we're calculating your tax receipts, they're an estimate. Because for instance, the valuation isn't final until November, so it's based on what we estimate you're gonna get. So what you started with, we know, plus what we estimate you're going to get, that gives you the 4.3 million.
So that number is locked in, you can't reallocate that, I assume, or reduce it $300,000 to remain neutral.
That's what I'm wondering.
Is that what you're wondering, I think? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's locked in then, okay. Not much flexibility.
Capital outlay already down, it's bond and interest there. Right? Hold on. Capital. So why do we go higher in bond and interest? Just settle my brain. Why do we go higher? We're like what, 2.2 mils higher in bond and interest?
Might wanna ask them.
Randy, did you hear that?
Well, yeah, you guys are gonna have to explain that one.
So I think that was, Clayton touched on that before. if you guys knowing that you have a bond possibly coming in the future.
Right,
He talked
okay.
about that, if you bumped your mills up, it would change the amount your bond, you're asking for coming mills. So that was one of the things that Clayton had suggested and, when he came and presented.
So we're bumping it up now so that it's fewer mills later if it passes. I guess it made sense then, but then when you see it on paper, we're bumping it up and then asking people to do it again. And that doesn't feel good. I mean, I guess we have a month to think about it.
We don't
No,
know.
we gotta publish it.
You'll
Oh, we have to
this.
publish it, I'm
You have to
sorry, I'm
publish it,
sorry.
and then
I
you
was thinking
will-
about the hearing.
Yeah, you'll vote on the hearing and then vote for the to approve the budget in September.
Why is food service that much higher?
I think that's, again, that's just how much
It's what
it
you think.
allows us to
Yeah, okay,
spend versus what.
Okay, I think I've heard two different things, but that's just what my head's told me. I asked, virtual education, it was 0, and then 16,000. So originally my question was, why was it 0 the previous 2 years? And I thought the explanation was, we didn't, spend all that we had in there, so that's why this year it's 0. Those 2 years it went to 0. But on one of the others, I don't know which one now,
So you're looking at an actual column of 23 and an actual column of 24, and then the proposed budget.
right,
So we actually didn't spend anything, so that
nothing
budget,
0.
when it's 0, we actually didn't spend anything, but it may have been budgeted for that same 16.8.
Okay, I get that, but then in other places, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, it's just wasting time, go ahead.
No, it's like, it would be like if I budgeted for car repairs every year, but then luckily I didn't need it.
I get that part, but it just feels like it was reversed in another question I had, so we can move on.
Okay, anyone else have any questions? If not, we're looking for a motion to have this published.
So moved.
Okay, we got a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor of having this published, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
I'm abstaining.
Aye.
I thought we had time to.
Opposed?
ask
Yeah,
more questions.
I did.
3-3.
Yeah,
It's gonna be-
So we gotta figure this
I
out.
just thought we had more time to ask more questions before the.
Well, I guess it's already gone out on the letters. I think I left it at home, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, I left it.
Didn't you ask if we had any motion on this and somebody said no?
We have to publish
No,
it.
no,
I-
no,
I-
it's not published.
I-
Okay, it's not, Randy has to leave, or he has another one.
So you have to publish it, but we can change it.
We can, yeah.
So I guess that's one thing. I
That
mean,
sounds.
And that's, I guess, really, yeah, like you said, we can change it, it's already gone out in the mail, right?
Well,
So everybody's already seen it like
Got
this.
that for.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I got them right here. And all we're doing, if we do publish this, all we're doing is setting a cap. We're
Right.
setting that we're going to exceed, or we're saying that we can exceed the revenue neutral rate, not that we're going to, but that we can. We can always come back from that, we just cannot go further higher than that.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yes.
Yeah, your budget hearing and your R&R hearing will be for the public to come and talk to you about their opinion, so you're able to make changes
Make
at the
changes,
time.
making a motion.
Okay,
So that being said, I guess I would change my negative to the affirmative to publish it.
we need to
Do you
read,
want me to have them read?
Yeah, let's read.
I think we have to do a new motion.
Yeah. So I'll make this simple, I make the motion that we publish the rates as presented.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
Second.
We got a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same.
I can get you one.
Alright. Next up, bond issue update.
Okay, Miranda, all yours this evening.
All right. I have a little presentation for you guys to kind of give you an update on all of the items that we have discussed and then some of the marketing materials that Shelley's pulled together. as well as, we sat down last week with, Adam and your middle school principal to go over the ag shop, remodel. And so we have that kind of laid out, which you guys haven't really seen before, so we wanted to make sure that we showed you, all the items that we've been kind of going through and go from there. Good?
Yep.
All right. So the things, like I said, go through with the marketing campaign. Shelley has started. You can go ahead and go to the next slide on that one. She's pulled together a board which is very large. We have one for each of the schools and here in Adam's office and printed and ready to put out, as well as a QR code and some other marketing materials that all kind of get to farther down in the presentation. But she has gotten quite a bit of stuff out there, postcards to send out, and open house handouts. So there's been quite a bit of movement on the marketing material side of things. You guys are gonna see kind of out and about here coming up. On the next slide, just kind of outlining again what we're doing at each school. So at the high school, we're doing new roofs, chillers, resealing the asphalt. Middle school, new roof. The cafeteria curtain wall and the ag shop, I'm gonna show you a little more detail on. Upgrading the track facilities, paving the gravel parking lot, and replacing the theater seating. Eisenhower, Kennedy both get new roofs, HVAC, rooftop units, replacing the windows and a new parking lot. Then you have Lincoln and Washington with new roofs, Sumner County Academy, new roof and windows, and then we would be replacing the windows here at the district office. New restrooms and entrances at the high school football field. We do actually have a rendering that they did on my drive here, so we do have an update for that one too tonight. And then the tennis court parking lot and replacing end-of-life rooftop units. There's about another 26 of them, I think, that you guys have at various locations. The budget outline is this. I've kind of narrowed it down to per school. I did break out the football field, the track, those other 26 RTUs. So again, your total bond that you guys approved amount was 22.6. There was a missing zero in there. But I will get that adjusted. But yeah, you guys approved 22.6. So that's where we're going at. As you guys just discussed, we will know what that mill levy increase looks like once Clayton gets your guys' approved budget you just did. We'll get that figured. But here is a concept design that we are looking at for the curtain wall at the middle school. The insulated panels that are on there, most of you guys did a walkthrough quite a few months back to view those. So what we're looking at is replacing that curtain wall with new thermal windows, dual pane, but then also some insulated panels because you don't need it all to be glazing. We kind of did school colors in that to kind of give it a little bit of more school feel as opposed to just black or gray, which is what was there before. But that's just a concept of what that might look like to replace in that area.
That's not that doesn't count new floor, does it? That looks like a new
That's
floor.
the original floor.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yep, that's exactly what it is today, so. The next slide, I think, is your track and field. So we're going to be looking at the expansion of the bleachers, the restroom, concession area, and press box, and then a new entry with a ticket booth. And we do have some renderings of that. You can go ahead the next couple slides. We are going to take these next few slides, put them on some banners and put them out there at that facility. So when you have events out there, athletics and such can see what you guys are planning on doing.
So this is at the track?
Yes, this is at the track. You can get the next one as well. This would be your entry and your ticket booth area. And then in the ag shop, again, when we walked through that evening, there was quite a few things we had discussed, but we sat down last week and just kind of picked out areas. What do we have available? What will it work? What new programming works in there? And so we've looked into moving Fresh Start up into that top corner, giving them space in there, and then putting technology and esports area down where Fresh Start currently is. Right next to that's going to be your facility laundry area. Above that is your art classrooms, which one of them currently is your art classroom and the other one is your ag type classroom, but we're going to expand that art area. Then you're going to have your CTE shops and classroom and your ag classroom and ag shop in that big open area that we looked at. So we'll throw some walls up and give them some dedicated space. Then you're going to have a weight room area and then IT shop and storage and your maintenance shop and storage. Got quite a few new programs going in there, so.
Weight room in the high school now?
There's a weight room at both.
Middle school.
Middle school.
Yeah, this is at the middle, this would be the middle school weight room.
Okay, so the next area we're looking at is the football field. So we'll look at a new visitor entry ticket booth area in the northeast corner. Your existing concession is in the south or northwest corner, but we're looking at putting in a new restroom kind of merch shop in the southwest corner with a new home entry, kind of like the track area. And then looking at the new visitor entry as well. And so that's kind of the layout of the site. But I do have another couple slides after this. So there's a couple options. When we were talking, you had mentioned maybe let's look at the concessions down with the restrooms. So we've done an option where, you have a merch shop and a concessions area with restrooms and then a mechanical storage space. And then the option that we have in the top upper corner is just the restrooms with a small merch shop and a mechanical storage space. And then this is just a look at the one that is not a concession. It's just the merch shop with restrooms, kind of keeping with the block wall construction at both sites and the metal panels. So your facilities will tie into each other, but gives you that kind of durability as well.
Do you have a picture of the one with the concession restroom?
We do not. That one is an option since you already have a concession. It's just more items for us to talk through on what that might look like and how that impacts the budget. But we did not do a rendering of one with the concessions. But basically what that would be is where your Crusaders are right now and your logo, there would be windows open for a concession area right there. And it would be a little deeper, so.
Bigger building.
I think we need to put it all at one place. So we put the concession stand and back to the restroom. I mean, I would prefer the concession stand one. If the budget would. Otherwise we're piecemealing again.
So some of the next steps are just your next 6 kind of open houses and town halls that you're holding. So it's every Wednesday at 6 p.m. for about the next 6 weeks, starting on starting on September 10th. So you'll do a presentation at each school. Each school will have the same presentation. The presentation will differ just based on the question and answers that are there. But then on November 4th is when you guys will vote for the bond itself. And so kind of just moving forward, those are the key dates that we're looking at. We might add a few in there for items we want to kind of touch base on, report back from, those at the board meetings. But that's a general update on where we're at with your bond, your marketing materials, and the stuff we've been working on the last couple weeks.
So at these meetings, you want the whole board there or maybe one member?
I will let you answer that.
That's up to the board. I plan on being there to present. and answer questions. And then Miranda and her team have offered to be there if we want them to be. That's-
DCS as well, so.
DCS as well. That's a lot of trips over, so I was trying to help out a little bit there, but I will be there at least. And so if you guys want to do that, you're welcome to. It's up to
I think we should have a board member there, so we can get the feedback, bring it back to the board.
Okay.
We can chat with folks.
Can we go back to some of the pictures?
Which ones would you like to look at?
The track first,
The track?
the bleachers,
Be that slide there.
the track bleachers.
That's it.
Went through a different one?
Nope, this is it.
Okay, well, compared to what we have now, do you know the difference?
About double.
Okay, do you know where the south end will be?
So we took and left kind of the press box where it's at and added a section to both each end. And so we've expanded it each direction, like I said, doubling about the space of what's there now.
So will the south end be close to the finish line?
It will be closer, yes.
Every other, we're like far away right now, but every other track that we go to,
Can you go up one slide?
it's, the finish line is, I mean, the bleachers are real, I'm not saying on the finish line, I'm just saying they're a lot closer than they are.
Do you see where it says new entry ticket booth? Right there, you can kind of see if you look at the track, that's right above that to the right is your finish line. And that will be kind of in comparison to the bleachers you see there. So it's not right at the finish line by any
Do you
means.
know how much space there is between that?
I
bleacher?
don't have that offhand right now, I don't, I'm sorry.
Can we get that, just because I think that's.
I think all that'll be worked out in the, when we get into the
We're having
details.
meetings September 10th, so I mean, I think this all needs to be ironed out.
If Pat's asking the question, I mean, yeah, somebody else maybe asking.
Yep, I can get you the distance between the edge of the bleachers and the finish line, that's not a problem.
So you're suggesting to shift the bleachers to the south?
Just,
If
yeah.
possible.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much space that is, I mean, they don't need to be right on it, but they also.
And that may mean having to redo the entry or work
Possibly.
around it?
Possibly.
That's what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean,
Keep in mind, these
if
are
you've been
just,
if you've been to track, that's just how it is, you can see the finish line.
these are just conceptual drawings.
I know they
We
are, I'm just saying though,
So,
we have another meeting in September, it's probably after the 10th, and we're gonna be sharing. Aren't we gonna be sharing the real renderings, or no?
Oh, there's-
just renderings, yes, but that doesn't mean that's actually what's gonna be built. I mean, there may be something different.
I saw
That was in our packet, yeah, let's look.
That's what I saw.
Change orders happen all the time.
Do they go up higher than the ones now? I mean, how high do they go? I'm just trying to visualize what we have now.
So those are details we have not gotten into. Again, kind of like what they're saying is we're trying to present a visual representation to show the public. But we haven't gone into the design details of exact height, and everything. We're gonna look at doubling what you have, and that's kind of the dimension that we're putting out there. Because it's just not kind of in the design time of things, we just haven't gotten to that point. Now, I will definitely give you a dimension from the south edge to the finish line. I can look at the height and see what that looks like in comparison, but we just haven't gotten to those kinds of details yet. So we're giving more kind of just visual aids to help present and push this out for you guys.
Could you go to the entry of the football field?
Oh, yes.
Is that
No,
track stuff?
keep going.
That's
I think that is it.
No, that's.
So the entry of the football field, we don't have an entry view, but we
Go back
do
to
have
go down one.
the
restroom. The one before this one. Not that, what's this?
That's
the
a
track.
Okay, so we don't have one of the.
Not of the football. So when we talked last Thursday is when we were talking about what we were needing to do there and what we needed for presentation materials. So we worked on getting it figured out on where things were gonna go on the site, a couple floor plan options, and then we did quickly render the restroom building before we came here. We just haven't gotten through the details. The concept is going to be more that it's gonna be similar to what's your track, again, keeping things kind of branded, looking similar. But we'll have one that's more prominent at your home entry and less prominent at your visitor entry.
So, will the final drawings be done and
Final building drawings are done after the bond has passed. So right now, it's called schematic. So we do schematic conceptual stuff now, and then once your bond passes, we will start working on, okay, what are we gonna implement, summer of 26, 27, how that works, and then draw the final building drawings. And at that time, again, the committee, the board, whoever, however that's set up, it's not like we're just gonna do it and not get, involvement and input.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll come back, once your bond's passed and, do the final stuff and kind of get an idea on what those are gonna look like and then get approval before we do any kind of
Final
building.
drawings?
Yep.
As far as the price goes on some of this stuff, did we ever contact local vendors?
We have done, again, conceptual budget pricing. We have
So we haven't put
contacted.
bids out yet?
We don't put bids out. Your bond hasn't
That's okay.
passed yet, so
Then-
we
then
won't
you do.
put bids out until we have the drawings so they know what to bid. But we put it out and we get all the local contractors the option to bid on it, yes.
Just gonna throw that out there before I forgot.
Mhm.
Okay.
I've asked this before at these meetings, will we have a video for folks to see first so they can kind of see an overview and answer some of the questions? It was just something that in a session that we had at conference this year, and I know we had the video that we showed before the survey, are we going to have any kind of, it was just mentioned that sometimes helps people visualize, especially if they're going to something at Kennedy, but they need to visualize something at the high school, and it just kind of helps answer some of the questions and make the meeting go a little smoother. Will we have?
Shelley will be in district on September 3rd with the same guy who did the first video to help push that forward.
Thank you.
And we'll provide some before pictures, like I can put before pictures in on some of these for the renderings to kind of show, the before and after concept things as well. So yeah, but yeah, Shelley will have her stuff and get that pulled together.
We're looking for a better narrator this time, so I volunteer Phil White as the narrator.
He'd be a good one.
He would, so.
Pat, were there any other images that you wanted to look through?
No, I mean, I just, is it normal not to have,
Very normal.
because I can remember back when we did, maybe not the last bond issue for the schools, but some, just like way back when QPA was around. You see the final, because you know what you're voting on. To me, it's hard, because I might not like something and think, oh, I'm not gonna vote for that because it's just tacky and it's not as good as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
If that's normal to not have your.
very much so, yeah. There's not, I would be very surprised if you found a, district that pays for finalized drawings and all of that kind of stuff prior to going out for a vote. Because it might fail, 2,
Sure.
3 times, and so you've already paid for that, and you might not need something because you're trying to, weed your bond down. And so, it is always common to have those done and the finalization of things after your bond is passed, so.
I think I'm good for now, thanks.
Anyone else have any other questions?
So do we kind of want to look at our calendars and everybody pick a meeting to go to?
Good idea.
Can you put those dates back up? I'm not in the PSR this year, so I'm free on Wednesday.
These are all Wednesdays?
Yes,
Yeah.
Wednesday evening, 6 weeks in a row.
I'll take the 10th.
I do the 17th.
I'm probably more flexible, so if somebody else wants to.
I can do any of them except for the October, what was it, I can do the 15th, so I can fill in wherever else.
You can't do the
I think
15th?
I'm
I can do the
pretty
15th.
open. The 10th was the only day that would be difficult for me here.
I'll do the
So I'm
first.
Well, I can do the 15th if you got October,
Okay, I'll do the first.
if you can't.
down to the 24th and 8th.
I'm putting this in my phone so I know. I'll take the 8th.
What's left?
The 24th.
I'll do the 24th, if nobody else wants to. Jump in there, Bob.
I'll take the 10th then, if you'll take the 24th.
Okay, that's fine.
Pat on the 24th. Bob on
Bob on the 10th.
And I did the 15th. High school, the day.
I was like, wait a minute, there's more dates up there. No.
Nope.
How'd you do that?
Okay, anything else on that?
Nope.
Okay, the next up will be the building needs assessments.
Yes, the district brought the building needs assessments to you last month for you to review and bring up any thoughts or questions. These, as I stated last month, help inform the budget, are done with our principals, working with their staff, and getting those to the district to try to come up with some ideas for informing Randy and Darcy and my work on the budget as we put that together. So that's just continued up for discussion. At the end of this process, the board actually approves the budget. You don't have to approve building needs assessments. They're just to inform the budget. So we do post these on the website, and so they're available to the public, but they're not, it's just part of the process instead of something you have to approve, so.
Okay, I have several questions. I'll just start with the iPad. And 3 out of the 4 elementary schools recommended iPads for their special education students.
So right now, we don't have a director of special programs, and so I'm working on that.
What'd you just say?
We don't have TRF, we don't have to.
We don't have somebody, so
TRF,
you're working on that.
So I'm working on that, but that actually came up today in a conversation with a new student that we're getting that may need something, so we're looking at IEPs to see, and make sure that those needs are being met.
Are there any, do you think there's any other students that, not necessarily special education, that could?
It depends on the app and the
Yeah.
program. Most of the apps that they can get are also available on the Chromebook. It just kind of depends on the durability in the case and all of the things. So we're looking at all of that.
The bus situation, I'd have to thumb through here, but we talked about that last month. Are we gonna work on that? I think you were gonna check on about buses having to turn around and come back. And
Yes, on the routes, yeah.
Okay, I don't think it affects us so much during the fall sports, does it?
The spring is almost ridiculous.
I would say spring is more
Yeah,
of an
that's
issue
what
than.
yeah, so we have a little bit of time for that one. Sorry. There's several of them, talk about how you find out that your students are and it's mostly the elementary, civically, what that mean? Am I saying that word right?
Yep, it's right.
Okay,
Civically engaged.
didn't sound right.
Yep.
Engaged, or with their heritage and that kind of thing. Just a couple of them had notes on that. One says, and another one kind of insinuates that, same thing, we need more sensory input in areas for neurodiversity of students, swings, soft lighting, trampolines, crash pads. I know some schools that have room for that, but I know some wouldn't either, I know.
Yeah, and actually, on tomorrow in the afternoon, one of our strategists is doing a session on using some of those tools and even in in a classroom setting rather than just having a whole completely different space. So that'll be some opportunity tomorrow for some.
So doing that kind of thing in a classroom setting.
Yeah.
If I wanna swing, you'll give me a chance to swing if I don't do this.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
classroom that the person Amanda that was talking, she had a swing in her class, because sometimes kids needed it, so.
How are our individual plans of study measured? Cause they all are just kinda iffy on all of them.
They're all a little bit different, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
And so that's one thing that Mr. Hatfield is actually talking to the counselors and social workers about tomorrow in the morning. And so that's because the buildings have identified that too, as you mentioned in those documents. And so the goal is to try to streamline that K-12 rather than just being, you hear more about the IPS, individual plans of study, and those pieces at the high school level. But we're really, if we want to get a star from KSD, it really needs to be K-12. And so what are we looking to bridge that gap between all of the buildings?
Okay, so we're looking at that.
Yes, ma'am.
Lincoln's Kitchen, of course, needs revamping, or that's not in our construction, but we just need to keep that on the front burner somehow, because it's almost, I don't know how they move in there. Let me see here. Thank you for printing this for me.
Oh, you're welcome.
I knew you wouldn't care, because you have to have printed material as well. Is there any other way that the middle school says what types of communication exist for families? Socially, communication with media exists within our community. It just says school status. Does the school have another way, or is that?
Well, we use Facebook, the School Connect is the main one that we're trying to.
That's that school status or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the one that does the direct messaging.
Yes, I don't ever get that anymore because I'm not.
So there's a session on that tomorrow too, or a couple,
Nice.
for staff. And then, well, it's for staff so that they make sure that they understand.
I missed that other way.
And then there's also still the community piece that goes with that, that the principals have access to send out, more general messages to.
Okay, well. I have more, but they'll just, I'm just glad to see that you're using some of these pieces and.
Yeah, the staff has been very adamant about making sure that we know what the needs are. So whether that's on there or through the professional development survey that they filled out. And, I hope they feel this week in particular that we've listened to their feedback and are trying to get them the tools that they need.
Okay, thank you.
I just, at the last meeting, I brought up what types of caregiver training programs I really would like to see. Everyone said that was an area that we could work on. I'd love to see that this year. Just a way that parents can be helping their kids at home. And I think with so much on Chromebooks now, we're not, especially in secondary, we're not getting papers home, so we don't necessarily know what our kids are doing. And let's face it, like a teenager, what'd you do at school today? Nothing. And no matter how much you try, you don't know until conferences. And then at that, we're not even most of the time talking to their teacher unless we can sneak in between the student-led conferences. So I feel like that is something I would like to see us really focus on.
Can you say what it was again? I'm sorry, I missed that.
The enrichment, well, I called it enrichment, caregiver training.
Okay.
I would just like to see, and then above that, it was regular events to engage with parents. I think our schools are doing things and we're getting a lot better, but I would like to see more, especially things I know so much is done during the day, and I'd like to see more evening events that parents can get to and more notice of those events. So that's just things that I saw in here that kind of struck me.
Anyone else have any questions or anything on that? Moving on, next up, closing and repurposing a school.
Yes, the board has been kind of discussing this topic for a while. I believe last month had discussed possibly having a hearing, and so put before you the information, a notice of the hearing document that KSB Legal sent me along with the the other documents that are connected to that. And so you have all the information in whatever way you want to head in that direction as far as that long-time discussion. So just kind of back out for discussion this month to either be, pushed further down the road or whatever happens. So.
Here's where I am at on it. Thank you for getting, now we have this when we're ready. I think everyone knows where I stand on this. My one hitch in all of this is I don't feel comfortable with the solution of what we will do with the students at Washington if we close it. I don't feel like we have done enough and we have enough data to just say, okay, we just pick up these kids and move them to this school, and we pick up these teachers and move them to these schools where we have openings. I feel like we need more data behind why we're moving. Just picking, the numbers make sense. But beyond it works out mathematically, I just don't feel like that's, if it were my kid in there, I wouldn't feel good with the answer of math.
You're just, yeah, I mean, I
And I think we're moving in the right direction. And I think we need, I say it every month, we need to keep moving in that direction. I just, before we present this to the public, I need to feel better about the solution. Does that make sense?
It does to me. I mean, I don't think we've thrown that out, and I think that's what the public's hearing, but, okay, let's just move them to Kennedy. I think we do need to just sit down and thrash out all the ways we can and get, and I like those papers that we got with all the different colors of who's at what school and who's not going to the right school, and,
I think if we can fix that problem, that will help us have a clearer picture.
Like if I'm going to Washington and I'm supposed to be at Lincoln, that kind of thing.
So,
I believe on the notice of hearing document that I put in your packet, that the KSB recommended it does say to have a solution
right.
on your thing as well.
Yes,
So.
that's what really got me. I mean, I think about sitting down in one of these hearings and saying, well, because we did the math. And that as a parent does not feel good. And then seeing it there, I mean, we truly, we need to have, I need to feel better about the solution.
I think, I just think, because all of this information that's out there, that's what bothers me anyway, because most people I talk to think everybody's going to Kennedy, and I'm just like, it's not settled, that's an option, of course some are gonna go to Kennedy, so, and then there's people saying, well, it's not gonna be a preschool learning center anymore, so why are they closing Washington? There's just so much out there that's not true. I don't know how you fix that, but.
I know it's a bad word, but we did get an email from a teacher. And attendance centers would solve a big chunk of this.
Now that you said that, I hate to jump in too quickly, but if you look at the median performance compared to state that we all got, starting with the first grade through the 10th, we're below state performance, which says the kids are not getting the education they need, and that's the facilities, probably student pupil ratios are different, real good in some schools and not so good in others. I know Washington is really good. So the attendance centers would kind of put all your resources in one area, be sure the teachers are on the same curriculum and at the same pace. There's some logistics there about when schools start, and if I got 2 or 3 children at different schools, that it would kind of solve that. At the same time, it would hopefully provide a better education opportunity to the students, which I think that's our main purpose, right?
Exactly.
So it's something to, too early, but something to talk about, think about.
I think we've been there, done that.
Well, the only argument against attendance centers is that it's inconvenient. And I've got 4 kids at 4 schools this year, so I don't wanna hear about inconvenience.
Yeah, but you're able to pick them up. There's some places they can't go pick them up, and we have to keep that in mind too. I mean, I have a flexible job. My wife does too. We can leave when we need to, but there's some parents that cannot do that, and it's not fair
Then
to
we've
put that
got
out.
to fix the neighborhood problem and quit with the grandfathering. If we want neighborhood schools, then neighborhood schools it is.
Okay, well, that's what I want, is neighborhood schools. I think this is more of a solution looking for a problem with the attendance centers. I had a kid that went to Washington, and when he was in kindergarten and first grade, he couldn't pry his butt out of bed to go to school. And except on Fridays. And Fridays, gotta go, Dad, the 5th graders are coming to read to us. So let's go. And that's my thought.
I don't know why that still couldn't be a thing.
That's what I'm not for attendance centers, but I don't like just K1 in the building. You're just missing out on so much from other kids. I mean, if we could go K3, you know, how kind of like Mulvane does it, K3 and then 4, 5, okay, but to have 1, 2, then 3, 4, it's too many moves for kids that it's not educationally sound to move a child 2 to 3 times.
The learning lags
Yeah.
in each building move that next year.
So I guess I may have missed something. It was mentioned that it's not a numbers game. Is it not? I mean, I'm not trying to be callous or anything, but I mean, that is the whole reason we're looking at this, it's a numbers game.
It is a numbers game.
We don't have enough
But I just don't
students to
think,
be with the teachers.
Yes, but the demographics change
that's my thing.
from year to year. You know,
Population of the town is not changing that much, that it's gonna affect it that much. I wish it was.
well, there was a time that Washington was very short on kids, their capacity. And way back, Eisenhower had few students. The people that built the new houses in the new part of town, their kids grew up here, moved on, they got older, they sold houses, went to downsize, and then the young people could come in, buy a good house, and start it back over. Yeah.
I understand that, but I guess what I'm getting at is I don't know that we have the population, the student population anymore to support 7 classrooms per grade. I just don't think we do. So.
We don't.
In order to get rid of one of those classrooms, I mean, it is a numbers game.
I think
It
we've
is.
all
I think-
decided that we do need to close Washington. I mean, isn't that a consensus or am
Nope, not here.
not you, I mean, you don't think so?
No, hell no.
I think, personally, I think we need 6. We don't need 7 classrooms per grade level with the student population we have now. What I worry is saying you just take Washington and just dump it all into Kennedy. Is that the right answer? Or is there a different place to draw the line? That's where I want to be certain.
I don't feel like we said that, you're right, Washington go to Kennedy, but I don't feel like it was meant, and maybe that's just me, way I am, that we really meant we're gonna just do that.
But,
without
and that's
looking
the
at
problem,
anything else.
is we have to, that's what I guess I'm asking, is that we do that now, because we have to put it in this notice, and when we have the hearing, we need to be able to tell people. So that's the decision that we have to make,
I
and
think
I
we
don't
need-
feel good just saying, we did this math real quick, and we just put them there.
No.
I don't think that that's the way to do it, I think there's gonna be more behind it.
We're gonna have to redraw
Does
the
that make
district
sense?
lines for 3 schools,
I think we just need to have a separate meeting where
which is a
we
math
have
thing.
the data that we have and we brainstorm and we, and instead of the little bit of time we talk about at a meeting, that's how things get misconstrued.
Good idea.
I
And if
think you're
we could
probably
just
right,
have a
Pat.
work session where, we've got those papers, the kids going to the wrong schools and And everybody's at the school they are because it's been approved, so I don't really mean the wrong school, I'm just, and we just need to make that a real conscious effort right now.
Well, the other thing is, we ought to be out beating the bushes and telling people about our fabulously low student to teacher ratio here. You wanna get a good education, come here where there is only 12 kids in the classroom.
But we have a building that's sitting half empty,
Yeah,
and we're paying,
but why upset all the families? Why devaluate the property that's in the north end of town? If you wanna see the full circle of doing that, look south of the tracks. They took out Jefferson in 1970 and brought all the kids to Lincoln. And it's kind of a tough looking neighborhood.
There's probably a little bit more to play there
Oh, sure,
than just the school.
well,
but that's surely usually the tipping
I mean,
point.
when we're struggling to pay teachers, I can't, and we have classrooms with 9 kids, right?
Let's just raise the budget some more, and we'll just keep the schools open and have more.
That's it.
I think people that and I don't know why they did it, they just love Washington because, there's great teachers there.
It is, it's a wonderful
And to say
school.
that, there has been turnover, so you can't say it's the teachers really, because there's new teachers every year. And the principal's amazing,
There's great teachers in every school.
You're right, I know, that's what I'm saying, and that's what I mean.
exactly
I
it.
think,
And
I think part of it is the 4 walls. And it is awesome, those 4 walls like the old classroom. And I taught there first, kindergarten, and thinking about going to Kennedy where there's an open wall, and back then they were open. So I'm the first person that started stacking up these things to make me a wall between Donna Wilson's 4th grade. But now, and then you do get used to it, but now there are walls. It's not open like it was. And you have 2 teachers for your whole class, which is nice. You don't just have 1 teacher. There's 2 separate classes, but you have input from 2 teachers, your same grade and your same age. I think that they were just educated, and I'm not trying to be negative either. They're not open classrooms like Kennedy and Washington, aren't like they used to be. And those 4 walls I in Kennedy are awesome, but there's still pretty much 4 walls now at the new schools.
I think Pat's right. I think we all need to gather our questions and figure out exactly what we need to make the right decision on how to split this up. And we need to have a work session, or even if we just move our questions to the next meeting, but make a conscious effort that in the next month, we are asking for whatever data research we need from these guys to figure that out indefinitely. Because we literally cannot publish this without that information.
Well, it's not something we're gonna do overnight either,
Right.
so.
I think it's gonna take a couple separate meetings just
For sure.
So do you,
without the regular meeting myself. A special meeting instead of right now.
Okay.
Considering we have all the, bond issue stuff going on, and we have a lot going on. We gotta convince Bob.
Good luck.
I think,
You know how many times I've been the only one voting one way, it'll be okay, Brian.
So I'm wondering if we keep this on the horizon like we have been, we'll keep talking about it, and then maybe after the bond and all that, then we sit down and do a work session.
better.
Let's concentrate on the bond right now, let's get that.
And we'll have all new numbers too from the students this year.
After September,
I think
we'll
that's a
have
good
that,
idea.
but then
After
we're
the
gonna be
bond
going
issue,
into all of us
then
having
let's-
meetings, and maybe that is best.
There's just a lot of, I don't know, buzz about it, right now, a lot of people are, what's gonna happen, and the only answer is, we're working on it, so I feel like we need to be a little bit expeditious about it.
Angela's on board.
Well, Are we all on a consensus if we do close it, that we're not gonna just pick up the kids and take them to Kennedy, right?
No,
We're gonna
do
look at it, so,
We have a lot to decide yet,
yeah, there's,
and there's a lot going on.
we're gonna do what's
So
best
I like
for
the idea
kids.
of kicking the can down the road a couple of months until, and
We wanna
gather,
do it
and
right.
gather information, do it right.
you know, and if we had a way for these parents that aren't happy,
Oh, well, maybe, yeah.
if we had a way for these parents that aren't happy, you know, we do need to listen to them. If they have suggestions as well, that would be nice to get their input, you know, instead of just negative, just why, what would you like to see, you know, some other input besides, so we have an idea what's,
Can we say that we need to come to a decision by this spring? I mean, put a deadline to where we don't kick it down the road anymore and we come up with a solution? Or a proposal, I guess, that we
Do we want to, after we're done with all the bond meetings and all that, do we wanna go ahead and get something on our calendars now since we've been all filling up so fast? For a special meeting to start this discussion, or do we wanna wait till our next meeting and set that?
because it may take a couple, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it'll definitely.
So,
So do we do that now, or do we put that on the agenda for the next meeting that we need to schedule?
I think we should probably at the first meeting just invite parents. To keep it open, I mean, if we don't schedule
They're
two or
invited to any
three.
of our work sessions.
Huh?
They're invited to any of our
Yeah,
work
yeah,
sessions.
I just mean you let it known that we're not doing things, you know.
So are we gonna schedule a meeting now, or are we gonna put this on the agenda for next month?
Let's wait till next month.
Okay.
Everyone good with that?
So you want it on the next agenda?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, next up, locker rooms.
Okay, I'm the one that wanted this on the agenda because we have supposedly locker rooms and we have nothing in them and we have a game in 2 weeks, I don't know, 3 weeks away. And we asked about how we're gonna furnish these, and they're not furnished at all. I've talked to the football coach, as you know, several times in this process, and I need to see what my options were here, sorry. You know, he would like to have whiteboards, somewhere for the kids to sit. You know, plans for visiting teams since there's no showers, which originally there were supposed to be. Didn't want a whole lot, but right now it's just an empty building.
Do we have any
Not-
updates on that, Adam?
What's that?
Do we have any updates on that?
I will get a hold of
Why
the
are we
city.
waiting
I
on the
had a-
city for updates? I'm sorry, but there are locker rooms. We're paying for half of them. Half of that building's ours. We're paying for half of it. 2 locker rooms on both sides. So how can we not know how we're furnishing it? How can you not know anything about it, Adam?
I had a meeting, if you give me a chance to talk.
No, I'm asking my question and then now I'll let you answer it.
Okay. So, I had a meeting with Jeremy and with Jeff, and they were supposed to be working on getting furniture. I have not got a recent update with that, but I will find out. If I would have known what this agenda item was about, then I could have had that for you tonight.
Well, I mean, I think it should have already been decided. Why should we wait for the,
It's still a
Jeff and them.
partnership.
I know it's a
It's got to get
partnership,
their
but
approval on our, it's like they have to get our approval.
okay, but our part of it is the locker rooms and we know there's a deadline. And I just think it's
I mean, I know
interesting.
it sounds tacky, but we can make a makeshift and put a bunch of folding chairs in there and a whiteboard and they can do that, I mean, if we have to.
That's how tacky it is anyway. That's how tacky this
They're out
locker
of
room
the,
is.
they're out of the
It's an
elements.
open, if you went to the open house, guys, it's
So
just
I guess we would have.
too open, it's
I don't think
empty
it's
room.
tacky at all, I think it's a wonderful
She said
building.
how nice it was.
For locker rooms, it's an empty room with a small little supply closet that the only thing finally, after all the discussion, the coach asked for was this meeting room, and he didn't even get that in locker rooms that we're paying half for.
And Pat, I understand, and we've gone around and around with this, but the
We
thing
have.
is, and I'll say it again, and I'm gonna beat a dead horse here, but if it was that important, maybe Meek should have reached out to us, because I never heard anything, Adam never heard anything, none of the other board, you're the only one that heard something on it.
That's because it was our responsibility.
I mean, I've talked to Meeks all the time, and he never came up. So, I mean, I think it's a great, you know what, they're not using Mill Creek's tent in the weather, that's no sides, that we loaned them for 3 months to go under that we went down, put up, they don't have it, they have actually a shelter in place that gets out of the elements, it's air conditioned, it's heated. Yeah, there's no showers, but no one's taking showers anyways, so why waste the money?
Well, I'll remind us of that when it's rainy, muddy game.
I mean,
I just,
hey, you were on that board.
I was on that committee and I want this known, I was on that committee. And we met 4 or 5 times, I even met with you and Adam and asked, are you guys meeting without me? Because I didn't know this stuff's going on.
We did not meet without you.
I know, you said you did not, so I don't know where all these decisions were made with this locker room. I just know nothing, none of my input was ever.
Yes.
Listen
We
to.
need their opinion also, we can't just.
So we're we're paying for half of this building that we're not gonna own, and anyway, I think we need to be a little bit more respectful for the purpose that it was made.
And I get it, and they have 4 walls and heat and air conditioning, it's a lot more than what they had last year.
Okay.
Did you see the tent down there last year? The 20 by 40 tent we put up, that they used for 3 months with no sides, and they had makeshift seats? This is 100% better.
I've seen bare naked opposing teams changing clothes. Yeah, I've seen it all. 9 years, which is sad. And then when we finally do, we don't care about it.
How else would we have done it without a partnership with the city? We didn't even have land down there to put it on.
I don't know. I'm just saying. You know, I don't, well, we had a way, and there was, and that's in the past, so let's just stay with what we have. Okay, so are we gonna make an effort to get something in there?
There already has been. You just didn't listen to what I said, Amanda?
You did, you said the city people are doing it, but it's our locker.
I said reach out, yeah, we're working on it together.
But that's not what, okay.
That's
I'm
what
not
was said in
arguing
the,
about what you said.
that's what was said in the meeting, was that Jeremy and Jeff were gonna work on it. I have to get back with them, that was assigned to them within that meeting.
Okay,
I didn't
Jeremy and
know-
Jeff, the city people, it has been, make sure I'm clear, the city people have been assigned to furnish our locker room.
They said they would work on that, yes,
Okay, why wouldn't we decide to be the ones that work on our locker rooms?
because there's multiple things that happen in the conversation, and they said they would work on it. I did not argue with them. If you wanted me to argue with them, then I apologize, I did not.
So I think we need to take some responsibility in what we were asking for.
We are. We put security in that building. We work with them on putting, had meetings to put in the stuff in the kitchen. There's been lots of conversations. You came up to me at the community meeting and said, you know, Adam, I know you thought I'd complain about this, but I think this place is
It
great.
looks nice.
And now
It
you're
looks
saying
really
the absolute
No.
opposite. Yes,
It,
you are,
no,
hands down.
it does look
Hands
nice,
down.
and it is nice, but not for a locker room.
Okay. And then you didn't tell anybody why this locker room was on here tonight, so we couldn't get any answers for you.
Why do you think it was on here?
There you go.
Did anybody have no idea what might be discussed in that locker room?
I had no idea.
Just saying, you're not,
Okay,
you're welcome to throw the district under the bus. You're not giving everybody all the information.
okay, I just assumed since we have mentioned, how are we gonna furnish it? Am I correct in saying that?
And they're working on it.
We
Okay, it's not
we
working.
have discussed it, yeah.
We're just, 2 weeks away from the game, so. And the city people will get us locker rooms, I'm good.
Okay, anything else on locker room? Okay, first up, action item, policy update.
Yes, your June policy updates were in your packet last month. You had an additional month opportunity to look at those, and so those are up for action this evening. Unless there's any questions or anything, I think we kind of tackled most of them last month, but they are there. There are also some additional policies that are in there from us currently not having a director of special programs and us needing to change some names for people responsible on a couple of those as well. KSB requested from us, and so those are all available for approval tonight if you are comfortable.
Anyone have any questions?
What about the policy you talked about, a special meeting? What was it called?
Substantial
Yeah,
portion of the day,
substantial,
substantial
yeah.
was the word.
portion of the day.
No, we did not bring that. I can bring that next month. Thank you.
Since I'm not on the committee and there's only one person on that committee, could I be on that committee?
The committee did not meet last time, we just sent it to the board.
I don't know when you met last, I'm just saying.
That's up to the board.
I know.
Well, with the new rule, are we even gonna do committees anymore?
Oh, I hope not. Just saying.
I think we just don't do committees.
That's for the board to decide. Yeah, I
I said my
didn't mean
opinion.
to say that smart if it sounded smart.
But do we have any questions about the policies themselves?
Anything have?
I
No.
do, but are all meetings open to the public? Are they all, like, the building leadership teams, the committees even made within the schools? Or is it just ones made by us?
As far as open meetings, since July, they're all open meetings,
Okay,
including committees of the board,
okay.
as of July 1st.
Okay, and
There
so
have not been any meetings that have met that have not been published.
Okay, but well, that's why I'm just asking, the ones at the schools make, so, because of course they have a BLT committee and a,
As far as site councils.
yeah, site councils and
The
stuff.
That's in this.
Okay, so I'm just saying, are they posted when they're having those, or do we need to
No,
post them?
because those aren't, the board will not be forming those.
Okay, so it's only, that's my question, thank you. It's only committees the board makes, that's what that means.
Yeah, and it is,
I'm trying to, if I can't find it. Then I had it and I read it all day, but
I heard it in the training and then they put it in.
well, I believe you, I mean, if that's my question, Jessica, is it just the committees the board makes, or is it all committees? And you answered that, so.
Subcommittees
So I'm good.
or subordinate groups of the board shall consist of no more than 3 board members. Oh, where was it? It is in here,
Yeah, I'm fine.
cause I read over
That was my
it to
question,
make sure.
and you answered it.
I mean, like what we've been doing with negotiations, it's the only committee
Yeah.
that's been meeting. So we treated that like a regular meeting. I publicized it on
Sure.
the Facebook or on the
Website.
website, and then when we met, what we did is the 3 of us met and we called for an executive session to discuss negotiations.
Yeah. That's just all I want to know, if
Right.
it's just committees we make, or if it's all committees.
Is this what any subcommittee or subordinate group created by the board shall be subject to open meeting law? Whenever a majority of the subcommittee or subordinate group meets.
And then somewhere in there, it does say that it changes site councils to those are formed by the super. There's wording in there that, right?
I think the schools form their own site councils, don't they?
Well, and maybe it's administration. I should have said.
I think it does say
Administration, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I was too specific.
Yeah, I'm good, that's all I needed to know.
I'm trying to, I see the explanation. I'm not getting to the actual.
Site councils, created by.
There you go, Brandon found it.
Each site council shall establish a meeting schedule, each council may make recommendation proposal to the board. Should
Okay.
the memo
You guys,
of
if you're
building
page 17,
principal
Don't wait on me, because I have my answer.
It's on page 17. That's what that
Oh, it is.
Is that right? Or 1B? I don't know, actually, my page numbers are off.
PDF, page 17.
But none of that changed, right? None of that's
Right.
new.
Yeah, no, we've always been doing it that way, it's just,
Any other questions on the policy updates? If not, we're looking for a motion to approve what's presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the policy updates as presented.
Got a motion, got a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same?
Thank you, I'll bring that other policy back, that's on me.
Okay, next up, cardiac response plan.
Yes, the board approved this last month, and then I told you last month Holly was gonna do some just really small tweaks to it, based off of some information we got from KSB. So she put that in yellow. Like I said, it's very minor. But I wanted to make sure we were in connection with what we received from legal, and so that is back up for approval this evening.
Move to approve as presented.
Our motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same. Next up, administrative reports.
You guys have anything you want to share? Cool.
I'm just excited to start a new year. I feel maybe foolishly, but for some reason I feel really good about this year. I'm excited about my staff. I'm excited about the kids, seeing them come back and enroll. So, I mean, that's all I really got. Teachers all came in today to do our first school-wide in-service. So I'm just really excited to start a new year.
Ditto. I wanted to give a shout out to Desi Schwartz, our business teacher. She had her kids design our shirts last year, and so we've got some presses and stuff we're going to be working with this year. But that was cool, and she did a lot of work this summer. In fact, she was up till like 3:30 in the morning the other night putting shirts together and stuff for the whole staff. So kudos to her. Also to Xander Walker, one of my custodians. He single-handedly painted about every classroom this summer. So did an amazing job. So just like Joel said, super excited to get the year started, and made Russ wait a little bit on us this morning to take our picture, and then I forgot my secretary's in the picture, so we had to call everyone back in, but flexibility.
I love that shirt. Are they just?
It's got a little Knight logo on the
Oh,
back there, and she did a fantastic job.
So are they just for you, or are you selling?
No, the whole staff, but well, there's more to come on that, so we're gonna be creating some staff shirts.
It's gray and red.
There's gonna be some that people can see at the open house and stuff, so.
Same, glad the first day we got it here, glad it's over. I think I started sweating at 8 o'clock this morning, I stopped maybe about 20 minutes ago. It was great, got a lot of good things. I wanna thank, shout out to Audrey and Ellie, Carmen and Kelly, and my secretaries for basically holding my hand through all this, helped me out, let me lean on them, help bounce ideas off, and and help do a lot of the presenting through our in-service today. So they've done an excellent job helping me out. So good times.
Thank you, guys.
Day 2 tomorrow, baby.
All right. Next up, board member comments. Pat, you want to start us off?
Start over there, cause I.
Okay.
Okay, so one thing that I thought about was, we all have some uneasiness about like all these new hires that we approve. What if we got some kind of statement from the person recommending that person for hire that just said, hey, we interviewed 7 people, we picked this person because our talents and abilities fit our district needs, or something just real quick and simple like that in the personnel packet, just to kind of give us a warm fuzzy.
I think that'd be helpful. I have people ask me all the time why this person, and
I don't know.
if we have to put our stamp on it, we should know why.
I'm gonna go total opposite. I trust my admin people to do it for me.
No, I just mean to answer questions. Like, here's what we.
I don't micromanage, and I think that's kind of, you're asking them to, and I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, you can send them to the building admin and ask them why they hired them.
True.
I mean, I don't know why they're not, I don't know, I'm just one voice, so.
Okay. The next thing I've had is, I was just kind of looking around at, other Board of Education websites. And one stuck out to me. The Mays Board of Education has a program that they do called Tag Out. And if you've not heard of that, it's members of the board or the admin team randomly show up to a teacher's classroom and give that teacher a tag out for an hour or so. Let that teacher go catch up on some work or something, just something nice to do. That might be.
We had a person
fun.
in Kennedy that did that, and I think we've had some, but that's a great idea.
think the high school did that last year, but I think, how would we, I love that idea, but how would we do it?
Good sub-plans.
But if we're not unexpected.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know that you can without sub-licenses.
I don't know, I'd have to,
We'd have to look
Contact
into
her.
that, yeah. Yeah, ask.
I could contact Rocky and see how she does it, but, yeah, I don't know if you legal, just in case liability wise, I don't know if they got their board members sub-licenses or not, but I'd have to check. But I know Rocky really well, so I can reach out to her.
Go ahead.
I don't have much, just, glad to see everybody getting geared up, ready to roll, and just see what we can do this year.
The only thing I have, and you can probably just relate to Ellie, my daughter's involved in a lot of sports, and this summer, you know, with PSQ, volleyball and all that, she needs to get with the coaches, and they say an end time. It kind of needs to be at that end time. There was one that went over, I know it was her last practice, but it was a half hour, and all these parents, because my daughter doesn't drive yet, are out there waiting.
Sure.
And I'm texting my daughter saying, just leave, because I had to open the store, and it was like, I had 10 minutes to get there, and I'm like, they need to understand that when they have an end time, there's people waiting, they need to end on that time. And if it's gonna be late, or you know it's gonna be a little longer, then send a message out, because there was a ton of parents that, it's just kind of frustrating when you have to cart your kids back and forth and just waiting, but if you should just put that little reminder in there for them. But other than that, welcome back, everyone.
Hey, I had that too, and like PSQ this morning, my son woke me up because it was raining, he usually walks. So he woke me up to take him because it was raining, and we get there and there's no one there, and I said, well, how would you have known? And he said Snapchat.
Oh, no.
And no.
And PSQ's over, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought
Last week
PSQ
was the last
Done
week.
for years,
Because my daughter had
raise that up before.
Yeah, last week was the last week of PSQ, I think.
This was football practice.
I don't know,
That was tonight, I think.
I don't know. But there was no one there, anyway, he said Snapchat, and I,
You might want to double check, because I don't know if it's still going on.
well,
Yeah, I think it was last Friday was the last one.
the big point is the
PSQ.
Snapchat piece. He said Snapchat, and I said no.
To piggyback on that, I would just, and I say this every year, and I know we're working on it. I just feel like some of the summer communication was lacking. I don't have a football player, but middle school football, word escaped me. That went out the day of, maybe there was another way, but I mean, if I were a new parent and my kid wanted to play, I didn't know until the day it started.
I didn't know at all, and I have a football player.
Yeah.
So he didn't go.
So we still have a big gap there. And I saw a parent just today asking on Facebook about the meeting tonight, probably because they're a new parent to town. Yeah, I know that's difficult, but I really, really, really want to make an effort this year. I've said it for second year now, to treat every family as if they're brand new to the district, because even if, I mean, I got a girl going through, but I've never had a boy, so I don't know the boy stuff, you know. And like I said, I've never been the parent of a sophomore, so there's going to be new things that I need to learn, even though I've been a parent for 15 years. So I just want to make sure that we're making a conscious effort to do that, because there are a lot of questions. But other than that, welcome back, everybody, and I hope everyone has a wonderful year back. I've got a good feeling about this one. After I complain.
Well, I'm glad to see everybody back, and good luck to you. Y'all gonna need it.
He's not.
Bob's not as sunshine and rainbows as the rest of us.
Don't even play the game then, right?
I don't believe in unicorns.
Put your flag up.
I don't believe in unicorns.
I just want to say thank you to the board for your confidence in me, and I'm sure I'll have more words of wisdom or insight possibly next meeting as I learn. So I appreciate your patience, and I'm happy to be here, and look forward to the future. Thank you.
Going off of what you guys are talking about, communication, last year there were several several times that students were gone from school or at school and their parents thought they were gone to track meet. I mean, and I for the most part, I think it falls on the coaches. You know, they're giving a lot of time for no money. I totally get that. But they really do need to let parents know, because if your kid's not in school and, you know, you're wanting to know where they are, and if something happened, I would panic. So that's just kind of off of you guys' thing, and I just feel like sometimes the coaches just, and they get lax because they got a lot going on. And then talking about our website, just brought up, are we ever gonna get a new one?
We're working on updating it
I've
right
been reading
now.
that for years.
Well, there's been lots of actual, Katie Ford's done a really nice job of
Oh.
making some movement happen with that, and so I know if you shared any feedback, we would be glad to take it to her.
Did it have something to do with, was it handicapped?
It was an ADA case.
Yeah.
Because the screen reader could read all the things that were on there, and so and the high school handbook was the biggest
Okay.
piece that was on there, because if people copy and paste, it tries to read it, copy and paste. So it like the whole thing was just not screen readable, which is what made the ADA compliance issue.
Okay. One thing, when I open it up, if I open it up on my phone, it's different than if I open it up on the computer.
Yeah, the
and
layout's
it's
different.
it's different pages stuff. Okay. I went to the football fish fry for the first time, and that was really awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It was
I
really,
love
I'd never gone before, and it was really nice. And I talked to Meeks afterwards, and you know, the only thing he said was a good crowd. He just, you know, he'd like to see more parents there, and you know, as I'm picturing who was there, you know, it would be nice to get more parents to that. So shout out to that. Have we settled? Can I say this out here? Para salary.
We did that in at the special meeting for handbooks.
We talked about salary at that meeting.
You weren't
It's
at
in the
that one.
handbook.
It was in the handbook.
You called in.
Yeah.
Wasn't
No, I wasn't here. I just thought it was about
You were
handbooks. Okay.
But it was in the handbook, and so we
And everybody gets, it's all the same for everybody. Okay. I have kids written down here, but I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm just really excited for this year. I'm excited for football and basketball and track and kids learning and, yeah. I'm done. I do have a question to ask.
Okay.
I really mean well, I'm just telling you guys. I mean well with all my talking, but
Anything else? Okay. We're gonna go into executive session for student matters, include Adam and Chad for 15 minutes. And we'll resume at 7:53. Can I get a motion?
Down here, I didn't like this one.
Got a motion, we got a second? Got a second, Bob second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
they're so rude all night.
You weren't listening. Okay, we're back in open session, no action was taken. We need to go back into executive session for non-elected personnel, include Adam, Chad, Darcy, and Bob Runhart for 15 minutes. We'll resume at 8:08. Need a motion?
So move.
Got a motion, can I get a second? Got a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. We're back, Brenda. Okay, we are back in open session, no action was taken. We go back into executive session on non-elected personnel to include Adam and Darcy for 10 minutes. We'll resume at 8:18. Need a motion? Got a motion? Second? Got a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
There was no food left.
Okay, we're back in open session, no action was taken. We're gonna go back in executive session for negotiations, include Adam, Chad, and Darcy for 15 minutes. We'll resume at 8:33. I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion, got a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. We are back in open session, no action was taken.
We're back.
We're back live.
Back live. We're back live.
Yeah, let's do it. It's like pushing the snow and just put the whole family. Oh, well, let's go.
It's not my seat anymore.
Jim, we're back live, just so you know.
We're back, no action was taken. We go back in executive session for legal matters, include Adam, Chad, and the KASB attorney for 15 minutes. We'll resume at 8:50.
So moved.
Got a motion, get a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? This is coming from me, these are not-
It's cold in here compared to there. It feels so much better in here.
I think my phone.
I didn't realize how warm it was in there until you come in here and it's like, oh my god.
Feels good in here.
Oh, it's cold.
Okay, we're back in open session, no action was taken. Next up, consent agenda. Okay,
Can I ask a question before we get started, or do I need to wait till you read it all off? The crisis plan, has that been linked in the handbooks? And is it gonna be on our site and not wellington.cc?
Well, it has been on our website.
Okay, it was just not updated.
I will tell you that in my conversation about the crisis plan with Officer Allen, she was actually recommending that the board does not put it on the website.
Okay, I guess I
So-
brought that up last year, that makes sense.
But it has been in the past. Her recommendation is that we do not have that,
That
that it's
makes
accessible to buildings, but not.
I see that, yep.
Yep.
I mentioned that last year.
okay, your time to shine.
Okay. Approve the minutes of the July 9th special meeting, the July 14th meeting, and the July 28th special meeting. Approve payroll and bills. Payroll, $210,976.35. Bills, $1,363,173.53. Personnel, approved new hires. Gary Beatty, custodian at the high school. Christina Wiltsey, secretary, high school. Robert Durrett, math teacher, high school. Allie Wright, secretary, Washington. Haley Sparks, critical needs para at the middle school. Jaron Lloyd, critical needs para at the middle school. Chloe Wolcott, para at Eisenhower. Reagan Hunter, para at Eisenhower. And Kalia Bolden, para at Eisenhower. Approve resignations. Ann Biles, secretary, Washington. Lane Harrington, para at Eisenhower. Andrea Maxwell Baker, library aide, Eisenhower. Kanida Burden, special education teacher at Lincoln. Matt Lira, assistant football coach, middle school. Ellie Frankie, at-risk aide at Kennedy. Sherry Christensen, para at Washington. Cindy Dowerge, para at Lincoln. Kristen White, assistant track coach, middle school. Joey Nunley, chemistry, physics at the high school. Approve transfers and position changes. Tristan Riggs, para at Eisenhower to library aide at Eisenhower. Approve the 2025-26 USD 353 crisis plan.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Got a motion, can I get a second? Got a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, say. Okay, the meeting is adjourned, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
That makes perfect sense.
So I can not put it on.
Yeah, we're not
I mean,
putting it.
yeah, I'll take what's.
Do we just need to update in the